Hi, this is Paul Peck. I wanted to talk with you today a little bit about team building. It's not required in Metro to build a team. However, if you want to look at higher levels of income, almost everyone that does that at Metro has a team that they've built and that they are working with. And the reason for that is that there's only so much you can do on your own time and in your own efforts. If you want to make larger amounts of money, you have to expand your income producing activities. And the best way to do that is to have more people creating income for themselves as well as for you. The best way to do that is through team building. So this will be the first of 2 videos I do on team building. This one is much more of an overview, and then the second one talks a little bit more about some of the specifics. First question is, why build a team? And we talked a little bit about that just now. A team helps you create additional income beyond your own efforts so that even when you are at one site, you can have 2 or 3 other people writing claims and meeting with people and potential clients at the exact same time in other parts of the state, other parts of the country. You should start building a team right away. And I'll talk to why that makes a lot of sense, even for a trainee to start building a team. How do I recruit? We'll talk about some of the methods there. We'll also go through what are some of the tools that are available, both from Metro as well as for the general public. We'll talk about some of the ways that we train our recruits so that it's not just simply in your hands, but it's something that we have tools and classes available for, including things like this one right here. How do I develop passion? That's kind of a key thing for me because I think passion is one of the reasons why people like working with me. I'm very passionate about this business. I have found this business to be one of the most exciting opportunities in America today. And the reason I feel that way is because I've seen the effect that this company has on its clients as well as on its people. We're all a bunch of misfits, and we all have the opportunity to make 6-figure incomes by helping other people in a very difficult area of their lives, an area that they typically don't feel any control over because they don't understand it. And the insurance companies have made it specifically that way to keep people ignorant. So I love this business and I have a real passion for it. I'm hoping I can help you get a little bit of that rubbed off on you. And then how do I get paid? And honestly, that's one of the reasons why we're in this business. We all have bills. We all need to pay them. How are we going to do that? And how are we going to do that quickly? So why build a team? It's the only way you can reach unlimited income. It's the only way you can double your income every year. You can't do that on your own. You only have so many hours in a day. And no matter how hard you try, you still need to sleep 5 to 7 hours every day. It just is a fact of life. And if you're sleeping, you're not earning money. How do you get around that? You build a team. You have a team working with you. You can build that across the country so that you are virtually working 24 hours a day if you want. Financial freedom. Some of you know that I experienced a heart attack in January, and that put me up for a couple of days. I was in the hospital. I needed to have one of my arteries cleared out. I was 99% blocked in that artery. They were able to do it without having to do open heart surgery, but I still required time in the hospital. I still received checks that week and the following week, even when I didn't do any work. Why? Because I had a team. People were writing business while I was still on my back. And that's very, very comforting to know that your income isn't just dependent upon you leaving your house and going out and seeing somebody. You've set the stage and it's in place for you to be able to earn money when you're not necessarily able to do it yourself directly. A financial nest egg. We can set up our businesses in such a way that they actually become a transferable asset. so that when we pass on, we can actually bring this business forward with our posterity, so that our descendants, our daughters, our sons, our wives, our husbands can take this business over and continue it and have a financial nest egg for them as well. And then building a team gives you quicker promotions. I believe that this business is built on senior claims reps. I think senior claims reps are the most important piece of this business. And hopefully I'll have you believing that by the end of this presentation as well. So when are you going to start building your team? Well, you don't have to be licensed to hire somebody. What I believe is that you should start hiring as soon as you sign your independent contractors agreement. And there's oftentimes people that I'll sign where they've brought their significant other with them, and they sign their significant other as their first hire, as a trainee. Oftentimes a trainee will bring people to a presentation so that they can be hired. Don't try to do it on your own. Have someone in your upline do that hiring for you, or have someone in one of the offices do the hiring for you. But you should definitely be doing it initially, because as soon as you start hiring people, you can start creating income from their efforts. As a claims rep, you certainly should be hiring people, because the claims that you get while you're training your trainees when you're a claims rep will go towards your production required to become a senior claims rep. And as I've indicated, the senior claims rep position is the critical position. When you start dealing with senior claims reps, you're starting to deal with people who are going to become regional managers. And as a regional manager, you need senior claims reps, because you need to continue cultivating and developing new regional managers. You don't want to be a regional manager the whole time. You want to become a regional vice president. And the only way you can become a regional vice president is to hire someone and help them become a regional manager. And then once you do that 3 times, you'll become an executive vice president. But that's the first step. Always add to your team. Always think about hiring somebody. Talk to someone every day. Try to hire somebody, at least one person a month. Try to be on the leaderboard. We had a nice discussion about the leaderboard at the last training session, where we talked about the fact that the people, if you're on the leaderboard, you are someone who's making money. You're someone who's earning a living at Metro. And you want to see your name on that leaderboard. Everyone that you hire is not going to work out. It's amazing how many people ghost me. Now, what does it mean to ghost? It's an interesting term. I never used it before Metro, but it's certainly something that happens here. And from what I understand from other HR people, it's something that's happening all over in many industries. To ghost means that it's someone I've hired, and then once I've hired them, I never hear from them again. I can't reach them. They don't reach me. It's like they just puff out of air and they go away. And that's going to happen. I don't know why. I don't understand it, but it happens. So brush it off. Don't let it affect you. Understand that every time you get a yes, you're getting closer to someone who's going to say, I want this with a passion. And once you have someone like that, you've really got the tiger by the tail at that point, because someone with passion is going to push you to work for them and to work them to help them grow quickly. And that's exactly what you want. Don't be upset if everyone who says that they're going to come to a meeting doesn't come to the meeting. You may actually invite 12 people to a presentation. Nobody will show. It's just like that sometimes. Don't let it affect you. Just move on to the next. Keep it going. Keep a positive attitude on this thing, because it's going to work. If you keep the right attitude on it and you keep doing the activity that's necessary, you'll be successful. I initially recruited in my warm market. I brought on several friends into the business. I brought a couple of family members, but not a lot. I brought one work associate, and then I brought a couple of people from my church into the business. But I found that that wasn't as successful for me for some reason. So I moved and I actually did some PBRs. A PBR is a private business reception. And there's a couple of different ways of doing those. One can be in your home where you invite people over, you have cookies and soda, coffee, whatever to drink, and you explain to them what a public adjuster is. You explain to them the business. You give them basically the client presentation. And by doing it that way, you're not actually inviting them to hire as much as you're making them aware of the business. And then what you do is you say, by the way, I'm also hiring. And at that point, you now have the potential for new people to come into the business that might have been thinking about it, but you now have done that instead of on a one-to-one basis and having to do it multiple times. You've done it one PBR and you've gotten maybe 12, 15 people at once. The other way a private business reception works is with a business. So I've done PBRs at real estate offices. I've done them at solar energy companies. I've done them at, I even did it at a wedding reception. I'm not going to lie. I did. We had 10 people at the table, and I thought it was a great opportunity. Maybe not the smartest thing I've ever done, but you have to take advantage of the situation. So there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of times that you can do a private business reception, and you should just do it. Use an opportunity where you've got 5, 6, 10 people and you're with them and the conversation has lulled. Just say, by the way, do you know what a public adjuster is? And then you go into it. And you may end up finding that you've got people there that have an interest in joining you and helping you work. Once you've done that, and once you start doing policy coverage reviews, you're going to get grade 8 referrals and other referrals. And those are worth gold. They really are. You're never dealing then with a cold market. I call this the cool market because it's lukewarm. They're warm. It's a warm market to one of my warm market people. And so I call it the cool market. But it really is not a cold market. It is in fact one that will receive you because of your association with whoever introduced you. And it's a good market to hit. Most of your hires, most of your claims are going to come from the cool market. It's amazing, but that is the most important market that you can cultivate. That cool market, the referrals. It's what drives this business, both from a hiring perspective as well as the claims. You can go after the cold market. I have done online advertising with Craigslist. I've done it in one of our marketplaces, the Facebook marketplaces that they have. I've never advertised in the newspaper. There's several people that do, and they find great success in it. I use community boards at ShopRite. They work out pretty well. There's a couple of cafes where I've put it in, and I've actually gotten callbacks. I have not done much with libraries, although I've got people that are doing a lot more with them because it's something that I believe is a strong play in the market. You can get a presentation done at a library. You can get free advertising. Well, you have to pay for the board, for the poster board, but they'll let you put it up in the library and set up a time, and you do it as a public service presentation. You do it as a public service presentation, something where you're not selling anybody on anything, but you're going to explain to them their insurance policies and perhaps talk to them about what happens when a fire hits their home. You might talk to them about smoke damage, but you can put a presentation together and use that facility to bring in people that you would otherwise not know. Home Depots are a great opportunity to meet contractors. Job fairs have been tremendous for me. but they have to be the right job fair. I've been at job fairs where all you have is a table and people just walk by. You can't really engage with the people at that point. The job fairs I find most successful are those where you are given an opportunity to talk to everyone in the job fair for a couple of minutes, describe what you do, and then have people come in and talk to you. When you have that opportunity, you end up getting a lot of applications. And then you're only limited by how well you do the follow-up from those applications. So the tools that we have available for recruiting, job fairs are my number one play, especially in New Jersey. The job fair company that we use in New Jersey is going out to Philadelphia, to Baltimore, to Connecticut, to New York. So they are expanding outside of New Jersey. And as they go to those places, we'll take advantage of those job fairs as well. They have done some job fairs down in Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. But most of their job fairs are in the Northeast, in the metro, the tri-state area. Corporate compliance needs to be dealt with whenever you have an ad or you have a public message that you're putting out. It needs to go through an approval process. That's not a hard thing, but Dr. Mike does want to see what's going on. The office PIPs are a great place to recruit. You bring somebody with you to training, or you have somebody meet you at the location and join them in the presentation while they listen to it. Be with them. You don't want to just be sitting outside. If you can be there with them, you have a better opportunity to address things as they come up in the presentation that might have a question to them. Firefighters and police officers are great people to recruit, to work with, and to develop as part of your warm market. Contractors, realtors, and then using your business cards properly. The proper way to use your business card is to never give it out unless you have someone getting you theirs first. Okay, never just hand out your business card to somebody. You're basically wasting the 10 cents or the 50 cents, whatever it costs to put that card together, because they're never going to call you. As a rule, they will never call you. Nobody calls somebody out of the blind that they don't know unless they're in a dire strait. And I want to talk to people beyond just a dire strait, because I can help them in a moderate strait. When it's not so dire, I can still help them, and they can still help me. So the only way to do that is to get their contact information first so that you can reach out to them. It's in your interest. When you do talk to people, you have to know what you're going to say. You have to have a script. There's two different scripts that I use. One is a longer script where I talk more about what is published in these slides here. I also have a 30-second script that I use. I have another presentation that talks about building that out. But it's basically a formula that's been put together by another marketer, and I just stole it. I love it. I use it on a regular basis. The script I use on a 30-second basis goes something like this. Hi, I'm Paul Peck. Do you know what a public adjuster is? You don't? So a public adjuster is, well, you know when someone has damage to their home or to their property and they don't have the money to make the repairs? Well, what I do is I help them find the money to make those repairs. And what that does is it causes a lot of questions and it starts a discussion. So I found that to be a very helpful 30-second pitch. You can use it too. Go ahead. But on a longer basis, when you're actually sitting with someone and you are discussing a job opportunity or a work opportunity with them, you need to have some things that you say. A couple of the important things to say is that we are, in fact, public adjusters. That what we do is we inspect or we look at properties. Sometimes that word inspect has a problem, so be careful about that. But we look at properties and identify damage. We never look for damage. That's irresponsible. But what we do is we identify damage. That it's not nothing being created. It's just identifying something that's pre-existing. We are licensed by the states. We are independent contractors. Even though in New Jersey we are paid on a W-2 basis, we are still independent contractors. We have our own schedules. So someone who has particulars as to things that they want to be, they have in their life that they can't really work through, that they're going to have to work around, you can do that here at Metro. And typically, you're looking at, for an hour to 2 hours worth of time, $300 to $500 for that effort. So you never say that it's an hourly rate of $300. That's not the right thing. But for an hour of work, you're going to end up with about $300 on an average basis. All of our training is done in-house. The only difference to that is that we do some standardized training for our adjusters. So they will go and do training that is state authorized for water restoration, for smoke and fire restoration, and for roofing and for other materials. Internally, we have a number of training opportunities for our trainees, as well as for everyone that is working with the company. AMT stands for Advanced Metro Training. It's a 7-week or 8-week effort. It involves every Thursday morning going to Bensalem, Pennsylvania, and spending 3 hours with Bill Undercuffler in a class. He does take that on the road, and he has done 2-day concentrated or 3-day concentrated classes in the Ohio region. He's done it in North Carolina. He will do that where there's enough of a draw for him to be able to do it. The President's Call is a 9 o'clock conference call every Monday. If you're not on that, you should be. It's great training. It's a short half an hour to 40-minute call, and you learn a lot. Field training, that's going out with someone like myself or with your upline and going out and learning how to deal with the client, how to look at an insurance policy, how to do the presentation, how to inspect the property. MMMM is John Mesko's Monday morning managers meeting. Everyone in my downline is associated with John Mesko, and so you have the opportunity to be on these calls. They are Monday mornings, 10 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. to 11:30. It's typically 2 calls, one that's more basic training, one that's a little bit more advanced. And they're good. They're webinar calls. He's got a web service that he uses, and you can get the links from me or from John directly. The office meeting is something where, again, in most areas of the Northeast here, we have specific offices that meet on either a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday evening. However, if you don't, for example, someone in Maine, maybe someone in Illinois, maybe someone in a remote office, we have broadcast training on Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. from the Bensalem office. So that training is available to you either live, or you can view it like you're viewing this training on a pre-recorded basis. To develop passion with people, the first thing is they've got to start trusting you. You've got to do what you say you're going to do, or you've got to be consistent about it. So for example, a lot of the people that work with me know that I am forgetful. That's just I have a problem with that. I have too much stuff on my mind. I've got too many different things I'm involved in. So what they'll do is they'll make sure that they get on my calendar. They'll say, "Hey, Paul, can I have access to your calendar so we can put some stuff on there?" And that's okay with me, because I know that means that they want to work, and I want to work with people that want to work. So being part of that is part of the development of passion. You also need to do it through collaboration. People are going to work with you, and you're going to see them working and be able to help them build passion by adding to those conversations and by providing them the information they need in order to be successful in those different endeavors. So, for example, I've got team members that are trying very hard to develop relationships with partners, whether they be with contractors, realtors, etc. And so I'm helping them do that. And that develops trust, it develops passion, it develops them into these characteristics as well. I think a good team is a diverse team. I don't think you want to have stamped people that are exactly like you. If you were to look at my team, I've got people from all kinds of different backgrounds, with all kinds of different experience levels, with personal experiences that they can draw on, and I can learn from, and they can learn from. It's just tremendous to have people that have different backgrounds working together, learning from each other. But you've got to make sure everyone on that team develops that desire to be with people that they can learn from and that have different perspectives than perhaps you do. It's a great quality. I think it helps develop passion because you learn something new, you look at things from a new perspective, and it's tremendous. And you always want to be positive. Never bring something negative down to one of your hires. I don't think you'll hear me talk negatively about any situation I'm involved in from a business perspective to any of you. And I don't want you to do it to any people that you hire. You can share that with me. If you got something that you're ticked off about, I got one person who hasn't been paid her training claims. She hasn't gotten her $100. She's all ticked off. She shared that with me. I'm trying to work with corporate to see about how we can get her compensated for those right away. But you don't want to take that down to your people, or you'll kill them. You really will. You'll kill any desire and any passion that you might have cultivated in them. And sometimes it's for no reason at all. In other words, that person who is all frustrated because she's not getting compensated for these training claims, as soon as she's compensated for them, she may brush it off her back and she'll not forget it. She'll just simply forget about it. But her people won't. They'll remember it. And now you've poisoned them. You really have. Don't do it. Just bottom line, don't do it. Throw it up to me. Let me hear it. I'll try to pacify it. I'll try to listen. I'm a good listener. Let me listen to it, and then let's let it go. Passion is critical to your success, because if you've got the right level of passion about it, you're going to be interested in working more than you're interested in doing something else, because the work isn't going to feel like work. So passion can sometimes be supported by compensation. Promotions bring on the compensation. A claims rep is going to get 20% of every claim that they bring in. They'll get a $200 advance on every claim that they originate. All right? You need to do that 15 times to become a senior claims rep. Now, currently, through April 22nd, 2019, Metro has a policy where if you sign up and go to the convention at the end of April, they'll give you 5 points towards your senior claims rep promotion. So now you only need 10 points. Now, how do you get those 10 points? Hire somebody. If you hire 4 people and those 4 people do 3 claims each for their training, you've got 16 points. You're there. You can do that in less than a month. It's not hard. It's not easy, but it's not hard. That's the fastest way of becoming a senior claims rep. Between now and May 1st, the fastest way to become a senior claims rep is to get your 5 points by going to convention, and then get 10 points by hiring 3 people and doing 3 claims each. That'll get you a total of 17 points, right? 3 people, that's 3 points for hiring the people. And then 3 claims each, that's 9 claims for each of them. So that's a total of 12 points for your hiring. And then you have the 5 points from the convention. So you'll be at 17 points. You'll be a claims rep. That's the easiest way of doing it, guys. Just do it. Get to senior claims rep. Then when you're senior claims rep, you're making 25% on all of your business that you do directly. You're getting a 5% override on all the claims reps that you've just hired. It's a tremendous way of getting into some cash flow. It's a good part-time job at that point. Regional manager is where the money's at. Regional manager is the first step to having a solid full-time career at Metro. As a regional manager, you're going to have 30%, which is the maximum that's paid out on a claim directly. And you'll get also claims from your base shop. You have to do 5 base shop claims every month in order to maintain your overrides. But you get your whole base shop to do that. If you get 20 claims in your base shop, you get a bonus of 5% in addition, so that your income can be up over $100,000 with just based on average claims. It's tremendous. So that's really where you want to go. And the way you get there is by doing 45 points as a senior claims rep. You do that in a 3-month period. You do 15 claims minimum per month for 3 months straight, and you'll become a regional manager. The other way you can do it is you can develop someone into being a senior claims rep. We're back to that level again, right? You develop somebody into being a senior claims rep, or you develop 2 people, and then you pass one of those people to your regional manager, and then you do 15 claims that same month. You'll become a regional manager as well. So that way you'll already have a senior claims rep that you can start developing into becoming a regional manager. Plus, you now need to develop more senior claims reps with your team. But develop a couple of senior claims reps and get them to a strong enough point so that you can be doing 15 claims in a month, and you can hand that person over to your regional manager instead of doing the full 45 points. So as a claims rep, if you are doing a $10,000 claim, which a typical smoke claim is going to be around 10 grand. You do 20%. 4 of those in a month, you're at $2,800 a month just in doing claims, 1 claim a week. $1,400 a month if you're doing a $5,000 claim. If you have 3 trainees with 3 claims as well, that average $5,000, you're going to make an additional $1,800 per month. So now you're looking at a total of $4,600 per month, just as a claims rep. You can make that a decent job. But you start really making money when you start moving into being a senior claims rep. Now, if you do that same claim once a week, averaging $10,000, you're now at $3,500 for the month. And if you have 3 claims reps with 4 claims each, averaging the $10,000, that's another $2,100. Now you're up over $6,000 a month. Now, if you, again, reduce that by 50%, you're still making a pretty decent income on a part-time basis. Does that motivate you a little bit? It should. That's pretty good money. That'll change your life. Most people are $500 away from bankruptcy. In other words, if you were to take $500 out of your paycheck every month at this point, you probably couldn't pay your bills. So if we can talk about an extra $4,000 a month, that's extraordinary change to your income. Get motivated, get some passion. I think it'll help you develop your business. I think it'll help you grow by having a team, keeping them motivated, helping them with their claims and their training. Just does nothing but help you and strengthen you in the business. And I'm more than happy to help you in any way I can, but I think this is a great opportunity for those of you who take the interest and actually jump on it. Hire some people, get yourselves moving in the right direction. Again, this is Paul Peck. I'm a regional vice president with Metro, and I am hoping to see you in the winner's circle. Talk to you soon.